I'm too sexy for your girl, too sexy for the world, too sexy for the I. Hey man, you know who it is. Drake album's been in my head, man. But anyway, besides that, it's been a very long time since I made a video, man. I can gladly say I'm back. You saw from the title, the very clickbaity title, but yeah, man, I had a lot of shit going on. Had a lot of stuff going on, and hopefully this video can explain what was happening, why I've been going so long, why I wasn't making videos consistently beforehand, and why that will change. Hopefully you guys stay tuned to watch the video because it should be a long one, but let's get into it. You see the thumbnail. Let's just start from the beginning. Let's just get it out of the way. This goes back to around 2013, 2012. At the end of my high school, going into college, career, I remember always when I would work out or do anything strenuous, like work out, run, walk, up steps, like anything that would exert some energy out of the body, I would always have this consistent, dull, achy pain in my right upper quadrant area. It was always consistent every single time, like I said, I work out. And at the time, I kind of ignored it, right? I thought it was something simple and normal. I remember looking online for something called a side stitch, which a lot of people get when they work out. So for a long time, I thought that's all I had, right? This is going up from 2013 again till April 2021, when things kind of started going downhill and then up. Yeah, I just lived my life. I thought this was normal, kept pushing through. And it wasn't until April 2021, it was when things started. I was fasting for Ramadan. I was in my third or fourth day. Things were going good, man. You know, I'm not eating, I'm drinking when time's allowed, and I'm doing what I gotta do, going to work, doing the daily routine. And I think it was around the third day, I had this crazy, excruciating pain in my right upper quadrant area, to the point where I couldn't do anything. It's like all I could think about. It hurt that bad. It wasn't like the pains before. And that's when I kind of felt like, this isn't normal. This isn't what I experienced beforehand. This is not something I probably should experience. So this is where I like put on my house, you know, TV show house, WebMD me. You know, I was going crazy. I was searching up every single symptom I had and trying to pinpoint what I had wrong, which I should have just went to the doctor, but you know, people don't like going to doctors, and one of those people I just don't like doing it. So I wanted to know what it was beforehand to at least relieve some of the anxiety I was having. So through researching symptoms I had, I thought I had a gallbladder issue. I thought I had gallstones, and that the gallstones would have to be removed in my gallbladder, which is not a crazy surgery for most people. It's kind of normal. Not normal, but a lot of people get it. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, this is again, April 2021. I'm like, all right, let me just go to the doctor because I can't have the surgery myself. I gotta go get checked out, be diagnosed, so on and so forth. So this is where I made my first visit to the doctor. Cool, yo, and shout out to him, man, because if it wasn't for him and him kind of pushing me to get diagnosed, would not be where I'm at right now. But anyway, go to the doctor, tell my symptoms, and I vividly remember telling him for the first time and him like typing real long. Like I thought it was a real straight shoot case, and it wasn't. He was making a lot of notes of the symptoms I was telling him about. And he basically said, listen, we want you to get some scans. I want you to get some scans, you know. Let's just get reassured that what you're telling us is what it is and make sure it is gallbladder issues, because we don't know, right? We can just get it checked. So I'm okay. I was fine with it. I'm thinking this is protocol, that I gotta get checked regardless. You know, he's gonna tell me to do this and come back to me and say, all right, you know, we got gallbladder, waste my money. So yeah, I went with it. And I got my first scan. And it's funny now that I think about it, because that scan is the longest scan I've ever had. I've probably had like 8 to 10 scans at this point in my body, you know, MRI scans, CT scans, all types. And I remember that being the longest because I'm assuming they found something which they weren't looking for, which was a mass, which I later found out. You know, they found a mass. They didn't tell me at that scan. The doctor told me at the second visit, which is probably one of the scariest moments I ever had. You know, going into a doctor's appointment, not knowing what you have, to hearing you have a mass that looks like it's in your liver. Those 10 seconds were crazy. But yeah, man, that second visit, that's what he told me. Said, you know, we found a mass. We can't really tell from this specific scan. It looks like it's in the liver area, which is scared me because you only have one liver and I don't want to get rid of it, dialysis. But he said, we're gonna have to do some more scans. We have to make sure it's in that area. Do we have to do a biopsy? Basically just doing a ton of diagnostic checks to make sure they know what I have and see if they can fix it. So the following weeks, man, I probably had, this is mid-April or early April, going into like mid-May, I probably had 3 or 4 scans. Almost every other week getting scans, having to drink these disgusting iodine liquids so they could do a UV or whatever. I don't even know what it was. I just know it was annoying. It was stressful, anxiety-ridden time because I had no idea what was wrong with me. I just know something was wrong with me. That's why I was feeling that pain, and they found a mass. And weeks go on. We're in mid-May, and finally they're able to deduce that it looks like a mass. Luckily, it wasn't in my liver, but it was in my right kidney and in my adrenal gland. Now, I was a little scared at that point because, you know, you're hearing 2 organs you have, but luckily there are 2 organs that you have 2 of, right? So it wasn't that big of a deal, at least to me in my head at the time. I was trying to be optimistic. And doing some research, and what they kind of told me is the tumor was something called pheochromocytoma, which is a very, very rare tumor for people to get. And not that some people don't get it, it's just they don't get it in large, right? And they don't get it where it continues to grow, whereas malignant like mine was. So at that point, I'm a little scared, you know, I'm like, damn man, like I got a tumor, I have a mass, not only that, it's a rare one that's in my right kidney and my adrenal gland. You know, the emotions were going through my head like crazy. And this is kind of why I wasn't making videos like that. I was so preoccupied with this tumor. And even before that, I wasn't making videos because if you look up for pheochromocytoma, oh my God, it's a tumor that produces hormones. So your hormone levels are all over the place. You can't lose weight or you can't gain weight. Like, it was just messing with me mentally. And they still don't know how long I've had it. They said that could have been 7 years, 8 years. They don't know, right? Because there's no really way to tell. But at this point, I found out it's pheochromocytoma, and I'm like, okay, I need to go see a specialist, right? I had a family friend who told me, like, the doctors right now are great, but they can't handle this specific case. There are specialists specifically who handle this type of tumor. So luckily, I'm in the Philadelphia area. I hit up a local specialist, sent her my scans, told her, hey, listen, I want to get checked out. And you know, she was quick, man. She was on the ball. By the next week or the week after, I had an appointment with her. And we're going through it, kind of going through it again. And at this point, I'm kind of not losing morale, but I'm getting tired of it, right? It's like, all right, I know something's wrong with me. No one really knows outside of me and my close family because I don't want to put that burden on other people emotionally. And I'm having to do the same thing over again. But luckily, she was very accommodating, very nice with me. She helped me out through the whole process. And she kind of explained to me like, hey, this is what's going on. You have a tumor in your adrenal gland that's on top of your right kidney, all right? So your options are this. We're gonna have to remove it or do radiation, like to basically kill it. So I was like, okay, those are my 2 options. As much as I'm scared and not knowing what to do, I'm pragmatic. I'm realizing there's really nothing I can do except what she's telling me. Otherwise, you know, it could get worse. Now, luckily, the option that worked for us was to do surgery. So that's what we opted for, man. And this was now with her, we're going into mid-May or early June. And she's quick. She went from like the first week of June to saying, hey, your surgery is June 26th. So I'm like, all right, you know, like, this is getting scary times, man. This is real scary because I still haven't really told me that many people. And this is my close family, my girl, my best friends really who know about it. And for anyone who I didn't tell, I'm sorry. Listen, well, I'm not sorry. I didn't want nobody to know. I just was very private. That's how I am. Even though I make YouTube videos, right, and I'm talking about it now. But at the time, it was just something I didn't really want to share. It was just something real important to me. So we're going to fast forward. This is a real long story. Anyway, surgery comes up, and I remember going in. You have to be in early morning. You have to be like 7 a.m. You know, you're in a waiting room full of patients and patients' families who are going to have procedures as well. I'm waiting with my dad, and they call my name. Go to the back. Hey, babe, you know, take off your shoes. Real nice nurses, older. You know how it goes. Take off your shoes, get ready, get prepped, whatever you gotta do. Doctors coming. And this is a team of doctors, right? I have a doctor, liver specialist, I have a specialist for kidneys, I have an anesthesiologist, I have this specific specialist for the adrenal gland. Like a team of doctors is coming in rotations, kind of talking to me, making me feel better and making me feel at home. And they're telling me what's gonna happen during surgery. And what happened is this, right? So they said, we're gonna have to remove obviously the tumor, which is in your adrenal gland, we have to remove that. We may have to remove your right kidney, and we may have to remake your vena cava artery, which is one of the main arteries that goes from your heart to your legs. So I'm hearing that, I'm like, okay, I don't have any other option, so I gotta accept it. And they told me, okay, you know, with the vena cava, if we remake it, we have to make it with either cadaver skin, pig skin, or some type of like artificial fabric. I'm like, okay, can I pick? Is this a la carte? You know, it's just like the 3 for 3 at Wendy's or something like that. And he's like, no, I pick. I'm like, all right, cool, Dr. Jackson, you got it. And this is probably 8:30 now in the morning. And then the anesthesiologist comes in and says, hey, listen, I'm gonna do anesthesiology and give you anesthesia during the procedure. Do you want an epidural? Because you will be in pain. And I've never had surgery in my life. I've never broken an arm, a finger, nothing. So I was like, all right, you know, I had really no idea what was going on or how I would feel. And he kept saying like, yo, you want an epidural? I'm telling you right now, you are going to be in pain. So I'm like, all right, give it to me. You know, I had to sign maybe a consent form, which was kind of confusing me. I was a little scary, but I signed it. They gave me a consent form, and that was it. You know, they came and gave me the rounds. They told me what was going to happen, and then the next thing was basically going into the procedure room, being prepped. And I remember being prepped for anesthesia. I remember them putting the needle on my back. I couldn't feel anything like that. And then them to ask me what music I want to hear. Me telling them I don't really care what music. I'm just worried about not dying. You know, like, put on anything you want, bro. Whatever makes you feel better, because I personally don't care. I just want to make sure I wake up. And I remember them saying, hey, lay on your back, and we're going to put this mask on you, and we're going to do this and that. And that was it. I was knocked. I didn't even know that was going to be the gas. I was just knocked out. And I just remember waking up. So the surgery was a Thursday, and I woke up Saturday morning. So I was knocked out for that long. Come to find out, the surgery, which was supposed to take 4 hours, took 12. You know, they had to do like 28 pints of blood. It was crazy. You know, it was crazy, man. It was very crazy. And I just remember waking up in the hospital, arms tied up to the bed, could not move. I had, which you can see the scar here now, I had some type of, I don't know what you would call it, some type of, basically in case I had to do a heart bypass. So a huge tube was going down my neck and I was stuck like this. And I'm literally looking like this, arms tied to the bed, and I just wake up and see my dad, and he's just chilling. And I had a tube down my throat. I could not talk, which was the worst. That was worse than the scab on my belly, which I'll show you guys at some point. But I literally could not move. I was stuck and I was in pain. And I remember waking up, seeing my dad. I'm like, okay, I'm alive. What day is it? I'm seeing it's Saturday. I'm shocked. Because I remember going in Thursday, me thinking, as they said, I wake up Thursday afternoon. I woke up Saturday morning. And I was in ICU at that time. That's when I was in ICU. I'll skip over the ICU stories, it was crazy, but I was in ICU for 3 to 4 days, man. And it was really tough, because at that point, that's when they like tried to help me get up to stand up. I couldn't stand, you know, I couldn't urinate by myself. I had a catheter or whatever you call it. It was crazy, man. And worst 4 days of my life, 3 days of my life. I would never wish it on anyone, because time feels like forever. You can't sleep. You're in crazy pain. I remember they were giving me fentanyl through the epidermal. Thank God a doctor, the anesthesiologist, oh my God. The anesthesiologist put me onto it because I was in pain. And it's a little button that gives it to you by dosage. And I remember hearing the nurse outside the ICU unit, probably the second night. She's like, he hit the button 200 times last night. I'm like, yeah, because I was in pain. You know, like it hurts. Yeah, ICU for 3-4 days, and then they moved me on to get like normal care for patients who just had procedures. They didn't need to be in ICU, essentially. So they moved me over there, and I stayed there for another 7 days. Yeah, 7 days, because I didn't leave the hospital till July 11th. So I was there for a long time, and that's just me recovering, me keeping body fluids up, keeping my sugar level up. You know, I had 2 clots that formed while I was in the hospital. I mean, it was a crazy, crazy time. It was a time where, like, you know, you start to sit and think, like, why am I dealing with this? Why do I have to, you know, you really start to ask questions that really pertain to your existence, why you're here, why am I dealing with this pain, you know, what did I do? You start to almost not blame yourself, but just in this mode of this range of emotions. And this is for the 7 days, 8 days I was in regular care until I was finally let out the hospital. I was in a good enough position where I could go home and rest and have home aides come and check me out. That was basically my whole month of July into August. That was it, man. Every day I'd wake up, had to clean the wound. I'll show you guys a picture right now. It was a huge L shape in my abdomen where essentially they removed the tumor. Again, the tumor was 14 by 12 centimeters. So it was about this big. It was almost a pound sitting in my adrenal gland. They removed the adrenal gland, removed my right kidney, cut out actually a piece of muscle that the tumor was sitting on just in case it would spread, and it remade that artery. Thankfully, I'm here now. It's September. I'm good, man. I'm still taking medicines, believe it or not. Or not believe it or not. I still have to take medicines. I have to take aspirin the rest of my life. I have no choice. But other than that, I'm good. I'm healthy. Thankful. You know, I'm here. It could have been way worse. It could have spread, which is normal for that type of tumor if you don't catch it early. It could spread to either the liver or the lungs, which would have made everything 10 times worse, right? Especially if it spread to the liver or the lungs. Who knows what would have happened. But yeah, man, I was thankful. And I'm here now. Since then, I've lost 45 pounds. Not by choice, obviously. I lost 45 pounds from that surgery. I haven't really gained any back, thank God. And hopefully continue that path. But I've also feel different. Again, that tumor was hormone producing, so it made me feel different. I used to have hot flashes. I used to be so lethargic and come home from work and go to sleep. And now it's like almost a new me, new energy. I feel like doing a lot more things, and I'm not I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I just was like not motivated as I should have been. And it's still shocking that I was able to operate the way I did and do YouTube channels and start businesses while I was dealing with that issue, because it affects you mentally. Again, hormone producing, that's your whole body. But man, I'm here now, and you know, the title says it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because it was. You know, it brought, again, a sense of family. My family does not live in the States, so they all came up and helped me out. You know, an appreciation for them, appreciation for my girlfriend. She came and surprised me. Just an appreciation for life. You take everything for granted until you are stripped down to almost nothing, right? I was naked every day, just with a sheet on top of me in front of different people, and then I didn't care. And I remember beforehand, if you would have told me to do that, I'd be so nervous, but you don't care because those things don't matter, right? I remember tasting water because you couldn't drink water before scans. I remember drinking, I was like, oh man, this is life changing. Like, everything was crazy. Even standing up when I could not stand up, they had to like pick me up and I had to walk. And I remember being in so much pain. I was like, what the hell? The fact that I can even walk is a blessing. And people who can't do that are born straight out, they can't walk. It's almost like a second chance in life, you know, where everything to me is just I'm appreciative of it. I'm happy. I'm even happy that I can even make YouTube videos. I have the means and resources of where I live, my job, everything. It changes. And it's unfortunate that I had to go through that to realize that, which is kind of the reason I'm making this video now. Not to be all preachy or not, but just to let people know, like, yo, listen, what you have can be taken like that. You never know what will happen. And life is crazy, man. Life is crazy. Vida la loca. I'm here, I'm blessed, and the channel will continue. The channel will continue. I'll continue to produce more. I'm in a whole different mindset now. I was waiting a very long time to make this video because I wasn't in the best shape to make it. I mean, I didn't have my voice for almost 2 months. Well, a month and a half since the surgery, up until basically August 14th is when I got my voice back. It was that long. I could not talk. Like, it just hurt and my voice was strained. So yeah, again, renewed life. I feel different. I feel better, and I want to bring that to YouTube. And I do want to highlight again, this channel will probably branch away from just resale things. As much as I do love it and it helps me and that's what I do, it's not who I am and it's not all I do. And it's not what I just want to put out on the internet. I kind of want to make this a diary of my life, something I can look back on, people can look back on, and hopefully be inspired to do some of the things I'm doing, or travel and take it and do some of their own things. So yeah, man, that's a very long-winded video, but that's the end of it. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please, please, please share, like, subscribe, comment, anything. It really helps and motivates me and it makes me continue to make more videos. And I might start a TikTok. Who knows? I was against it for a long time, but finally downloaded it. I'm getting pressures to do some videos. But anyway, I appreciate you guys tuning in. See you guys later. On to the next video. Peace.